this. You are not alone. This is the Resistance.
What's up, everyone? This is the Tin Man with the Resistance. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance, and I'm still drinking. But this time, I'm doing the smart thing. I'm at least getting some food in my system. I got some chili dogs, so I'm not gonna die of alcohol poisoning tonight. At least, maybe later. You're not that lucky, people.
You better not die of alcohol poisoning.
Just drinking beer, I highly doubt that, but I digress. Oh, introductions. This is my good friend Genevieve. She is a Wiccan Christian and also has some experience with the issue of gay Christians as well. So I brought her on to touch base a little bit on this issue. So, Genevieve, my dear, let's get to the meat and fucking potatoes of this fucking thing. Give us a little bit of your background and experience as we go along. But the meat and potatoes. Can the two worlds coexist? Whether Wiccan and Christian, or gay or Christian, or just any lifestyle that flows contrary to Christian teachings is essentially sinful. A sinful lifestyle and a Christian lifestyle. Can the two worlds coexist?
Yes.
Okay.
No doubt about it, yes.
Okay, can you please elaborate on how?
Well, I'm Wiccan Christian. Basically what that is that I do spells and potions and stuff like that, but I still believe in a higher power. Now, I don't believe that his name is God or that he had a son named Jesus Christ, but I do believe that there is a higher power. And yes, I do still pray. But that does not mean that I'm praying to one specific entity. I still pray to one higher power, which I believe has multiple personalities, that you pray to each one for a certain thing.
Dual identity, basically. A being with
Yes.
dual identity. So basically, this essentially, your belief system is not traditional Judeo-Christian semantics, basically.
Yes, basically it's not that, because honestly, what kind of fucking God is going to do one thing and then turn around and say another? I mean, come on. That's something that I would do, and I have a multiple personality disorder. Come on now.
That doesn't say much for me. I used to date you.
Well, yeah, so.
But then again, I'm crazy too, so. But, moving on, right? Okay.
Right.
So, in the traditional Judeo-Christian construct, can the two worlds coexist or no?
It depends on how much you want to accept of the Judeo-Christian system, along with being Wiccan. I only accept a certain amount of it. There are others that accept all of it and are still Wiccan, but they only study the potions and spells portion of Wicca. So, I mean,
Okay.
you can successfully mesh the two, no problem.
Okay, explain that.
Well, what that friend does is she ends up, when she's making her potions or whatever, instead of her saying, so mote it be, or let the powers be, she says, God, please bless this. And then she says the type of potion that it is, or the type of spell that it is, and it works.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking up something here, and I want to run this by you because I'm not sure too many Wiccan Christians, die-hard, quote, Wiccan Christians, actually know about these verses. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Exodus 22:18. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. 1 Samuel 15, verse 23. I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hands. Micah 5:12. And so on and so forth.
Yeah, but then again, the Bible also says that God created everyone equally, and He also loves everyone equally. But yet He says that witches and warlocks and stuff like that, and gays and lesbians are an abomination. But yet, how can He love everybody equally if He's going to do that?
Uh, well, most Judeo-Christians would argue it's like the love of a parent. You can love a child but still, quote, discipline them. You know, I personally am kind of an asshole about things. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why you broke up with me, right? Ah!
No, I broke up with you because of your anger issues back in 2010, but that's not the point here.
I own it. Like I said before, I'm an asshole. Even my ex-girlfriend will admit it.
He's an asshole sometimes, not all the time.
Okay, so what kind of experience have you had as a Wiccan and going to a Christian church? Because I've known you for a while. You've gone to several Christian churches. You've even gone to the LDS church with me, and were, from what I recall, an active member for a little while there. What kind of experience have you had with trying to mesh these two worlds?
Well, when I was a kid, I was a full-on Mormon. My dad raised me in the Mormon church, and what turned me to start looking into Wicca was I was running around waiting for my dad. My mom and dad were the librarians at our Mormon church. Well, I was running around the church trying to just kill time, waiting for my mom and dad to get done with inventory and stuff like that, and closing up the library. Well, our church, our side door church stage, sorry, was always locked, and there were always lights on. Well, this particular day when I was running around waiting for my parents, I ended up, I went over to the side door, just curious, hoping that the door would be open because we had just had like this concert thing the night before. Well,
Okay.
the only thing that was strange was that the lights were off in that hallway. The whole hallway, all the lights were off. The blinds and everything were closed. It was dark, pitch black. Okay, and this was like at 2 in the afternoon, and
Okay.
so I was like, oh, whatever. I'm not afraid of the dark. So I opened up the stage door, and it surprised me that it was unlocked. And so I looked in there, and I took one step. I put one foot on the first step, and there was this male face that showed up in a space about that big between a piano and the wall. And the male face came forward, said hi, and then disappeared.
Creepy.
That
So,
was the creepiest thing I had ever seen when I was, I think it was like 7 years old. And there was no body to this thing, and no one could fit in a crevice about 1.5 to 2 inches wide. Come on now. And
so it was
so
a head
after
about the
that,
size of
when
a
I was,
baseball, basically.
yeah, basically. And when I brought my parents back, I brought my father, and the door was locked.
Hmm. Creepy.
So that kind of that's what started my path into Wicca, because I had heard my dad had always told me, oh, it's an abomination, don't do it, don't go near it, blah 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 blah.
Kind of
Well,
sparked
I
your
had a family,
curiosity.
yeah, and I had a friend that was in elementary school at Woodland Elementary in Illinois, and her family was straight up Wiccan. So I asked her, I said, well, what could that be? And she said, well, that would be a ghost. I was like, okay, what's a ghost? And
Okay.
she explained to me what ghosts were. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the audience knows what a freaking ghost is.
If you don't, you're in a lot of
So,
trouble.
yeah, because ghosts are all around us. It's not that hard to find them if you know where to look. So,
Yeah, I try not to dabble in the dark forces anymore. Got me into too much trouble.
it's not dark, and it's not fully dark if you don't summon Satan. If you summon Satan, that's dark. You don't summon Satan, that's just a big no-no. You don't summon any other
Honey, this is
demons or
me you're talking about here. Okay, I could get in trouble with a freaking butter knife and a Pop-Tart.
that was funny.
Okay? And let's not get into the dynamics of a stick of dynamite, a trash can full of nails, and a yo-yo.
Yeah, you trying to figure out how to cut a Pop-Tart to equal it amongst everybody was kind of funny.
It almost worked.
Yeah, until it started breaking.
I tried. There was effort entailed. So anyway, the homosexual aspect now. Let's touch base on that.
Okay.
Obviously, the two worlds cannot coexist. We have seen this being demonstrated time and time again. Either the ideology has to change, or those who are gay, at least in my opinion, should not follow said ideologies that can't accept them.
Well, that's not true.
Okay.
I have a couple that are gay. They recently just got married and they are Christian.
Okay.
And they go to, I believe it's Revival. Either Revival or Calvary Chapel, I'm not sure which. But they do go to church and they accept them perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, they're trying to help them adopt.
Huh. So they haven't really gotten hit with the Bible bashing from Leviticus 18 and 20.
No. I mean, they have by random people outside of their church, but other than that, no.
Well, I know a lot of churches are changing their ideologies and being more accepting to these groups of people, gays and lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say the terminology, say LGBT. I keep wanting to say BLT for some stupid fucking reason.
Because you want a BLT. That's why.
Yeah, but I don't eat lettuce or tomato.
Doesn't mean that you don't want it. That means that your body is craving the iron that's in tomato.
Possibly. Quite possibly. I'll drink a bottle of ketchup later.
Oh, God. You have an idea how bad that is for you? That's got more vinegar than anything.
I know. And no, it's funny. You're still talking to me like we're still dating. You're like, don't do it, Curtis. Don't do it.
I always talk to everybody that way, whether I date them or not.
I know. I just think it's funny. I just find it personally amusing that you actually still look out for me like that. That's like kind of cool. That is kind of cool.
I've known you since 2010.
Been quite a long while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been 7, almost 8 years. It'll be 8 years next year in, what was it? June? Yeah, because we went to 4th of July together, so it was in June.
Yeah, we met about June, so we've known each other about 7, 8 years now.
Oh, and by the way, people, I believe it was on MySpace.
Yes, we met on MySpace. At least we were like from the same town, at least, and actually got to hang out and get to know each other before we actually got involved with each other.
I purposely look for people in my town.
Yep. Well, I'm saying, like, people get involved in relationships and shit online. And, they'll do like these long distance relationships. And half the time, they'll get really serious. And more often than not, they hadn't even met each other. I mean, at least you and I, we met up, we hung out a while, and then started seeing each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, we hung out for, 3 hours and then we started dating? Because you took me to see your sister?
No, we hung out a few times for like the better part, I think, of like 2 weeks, and then we started seeing each other. It was about 2 weeks, give or take. Yeah.
I don't remember. It was too long ago. I have memory problems. I was stupid back then. I was smoking weed and drinking and all stupid crap. Oh.
Well, I digress. But back to our topic here. So, as far as like these religious ideologies, like say the strict ideologies like Mormons, Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, and stuff like that, can the LGBT community coexist with a Christian theology? Can they go hand in hand? No?
No, they can't. Mormons are too stubborn. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they really are. They're way too stubborn. They have too many rules. You're not allowed to drink soda. You're not allowed to, wear any. You're not allowed to wear pants. Women aren't allowed to wear pants. They're not allowed to wear tank tops. They're not allowed to wear makeup. They're not allowed to.
Hold on, you are cutting out real bad, honey. The hell happened there? You okay? I'm gonna cut this and we're gonna do a callback. Hold on. Oh, there we go. You there?
Yeah, I'm here now. I guess the internet doesn't like us talking about this stuff.
The Mormons are trying to suppress us. They're trying to
maybe
mute our microphones.
I think it's the government.
Probably.
But anywho,
Okay.
Judeo-Christian, they're a little bit more, they're more lenient because of the fact that they've gone through a lot of, what's the word? I guess you could call it metamorphosis, because of back in the 1800s, they were these, diehard, if you don't believe what we do, we're going to kill you.
Yeah, witch hunts, so on and so forth.
Yeah, what they call it,
the Crusades and the witch hunts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, since then they've learned that certain things like that is part of my expression on this, but effing stupid. It's fucking stupid. You don't kill someone just because they don't believe the same thing as you, because that's going to give you a one-way ticket to hell. Sorry, it's going to do that.
That, and it's not exactly the best marketing ploy.
Exactly. I mean, no one's going to want to go into a religion where they are told you either do what we say or we're going to kill you. We're going to give you a one-way ticket to hell because, well, that's just your fate, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but they also are very strict on what you can and cannot do. Like, they tell you that you're not allowed to be gay. You're not allowed to be lesbian. Like with
okay, are we talking about Judeo-Christians or are we talking about, the diehards?
The Judeo-Christian and diehards, like they kind of, I mean, they're okay. The Judeo-Christians are okay.
Well, they're all Judeo-Christians. Let's better classify it. You have the evangelical Christians, denominational Christians, and then you have the diehard secular groups like the Mormons, Catholics, and Jehovah's Witnesses.
Let's just put it as there are some Christians, because there's just too many other ones to mention. I really don't want to go through the whole list every time I explain something.
Yeah, that's quite a big list to go through, 41,000 different religious ideologies.
Exactly, and I really don't know all 41,000 because I'm just going to say some Christians. So, but some Christians, they're against homosexuality, and then as soon as it shows up in their family, like their son or their daughter, they are shocked and they're like, whoa, what? But yet, when it comes to that, the way I think about it is that if you're gay and you're a guy, that means that you were a woman in your previous life.
Okay.
Which that ties into the Wicca. Wiccans believe that when we die, we start a new life as something or someone else.
Yeah, see, me, I personally disagree with that theology for one simple reason. And it's not religious-based at all. Pure and simple. Who would be dumb enough to come back here a second time?
Someone who wanted to fix something or do something different that they didn't do originally.
At which point I would have hoped to have had my previous memories intact.
You can with previous life hypnosis regression.
I've heard about that. I haven't really looked into it too much.
I want to do it. According to what I've been told by psychologists or what's
Psychics?
the yeah psychics and stuff like that. I've come back like 1,200 times
Wow.
because I keep making the same mistakes.
Again, wow.
So that's why I have what people would call an old soul. I keep coming back because I want to. One thing I do know for a fact is I've always wanted to try and make the world a better place. I've always wanted to do that.
Well,
I've always wanted everyone to be happy, at peace with each other.
you are the resistance. That is what makes you resistance right there.
Well, I always want people to be at peace with each other. I mean, I can go into a whole other thing as to what other aspects there are, but I'm not going to go off topic.
Yeah.
But the main that seems to be the problem is religion.
Oh, religion's
Yeah,
religion's the center of everything, regardless of how you look at it. It can always be traced back to some sort of belief or ideology. That's what Connor has been talking about for a while. And I don't know if you've seen any of those videos, but I'll send them to you later. Connor's been touching on this for a while. The idea of Muslim ideologies, Zionist ideologies, Jewish ideologies. You know, it all has a common source in what's going on in today's world.
that's true. Yeah. Also, it also is affecting our country as far as the religious thing goes because Muslims are starting to say, "Oh, well, the American flag offends me," or they took the Pledge of Allegiance out of schools, which is beyond ridiculous. I mean, we already took the Bible out of schools. What was it, like 100 years ago when we first became a country?
I actually have confirmation that in most schools, the Pledge of Allegiance is still in schools and is still 100% intact as it was originally formulated.
Okay, good. They still have one nation under God at the end, right?
Yes, none of that has changed. And God We Trust is still on the money. Believe me, I took out $10 out of the fucking bank today. I know.
Well, I'm not worried about it.
I had to get a notary. What can I say?
I'm more worried about whether or not my son is going to be saying the Pledge of Allegiance when he starts going to school. Because if they take the Pledge of Allegiance and they decide to change the flag or get rid of our American flag, I'm leaving. I'm going to Ireland. Fuck y'all. I'm done.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, honey. Just pack me in your suitcase.
I'll try. My suitcase is kind of small. I might have to cut you up.
It's okay. We got sewing thread. We can make this work.
So I can sew you back together, no problem.
We can make this work. So anyway,
I'll make you my Frankenstein. I'll make you my monster. You'll be my monster.
I could go so many directions with this, ladies and gentlemen. I could.
No.
There's so many avenues that I could explore here.
I am doing it in the term of Frankenstein's monster. Don't even go there. I know what you're thinking. No.
No, I was actually thinking along the lines of Frankenstein's monster. Does that make you Dr. Frankenstein or the Bride of Frankenstein?
Well, see, technically the name Frankenstein is not the monster's name.
Yeah, it's the doctor who made the monster. Hence the term Frankenstein's monster.
Yes.
It was Dr. Victor Frankenstein who made the monster.
Well, then you saying the Bride of Frankenstein doesn't exactly come into concept.
I'm going off of movie titles here, honey. I'm going off of movie titles. You of all people should know the nostalgia of what I am talking about, Miss Phantom of the Opera.
But anywho, so
bitches.
What?
I said bitches.
Anywho, so there are certain Christians who are willing to allow the mashup of homosexuality with Christianity, and they're okay with having a Wiccan Christian in their church or whatever.
Okay.
But there's also the other religions that aren't okay with it, and they try to force feed straight up Christianity into the Wiccans or the homosexuals that think it's going to miraculously change them. No, it's not.
No, it's really hard to break somebody out of their ways, especially the older they get.
Yeah.
The more people are set in their ways, the harder it is to change. As the saying goes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Hmm.
You can try,
Good
but
question.
I may have an answer.
It's okay if my son comes in here because he's knocking on my door.
That's fine.
Bradley, come here. One moment, let me go get him.
No problem.
Come here. You're gonna get your 5 minutes of fame. Come here. This is my cute little boy, Bradley.
Okay. And where are we going with this?
Well, he actually does play a part. See, my son, he likes the color pink and purple and stuff like that, and he likes to wear my shoes.
Okay.
Now, most parents that are hardcore Christians would think that that's a sign of him becoming gay, and they would try to eradicate it.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas other families or other religions, like me as such a Wiccan Christian, I'm gonna love him regardless. That right there would be unconditional love. Like in the Bible, God says that He loves everyone equally. In the Bible, God says He loves everybody equally. Well,
Okay.
if He's gonna call some of His children because they're homosexual or because they study Wicca an abomination, that's not unconditional love. That really isn't. That means that He's turned back on His children, that He so loves that He supposedly gives His only begotten Son.
Okay. Well, I can understand the reasoning behind that. So, do you think Christianity is evolving or just whitewashing for the sake of being a popular sale to that market?
Well, personally, I think that Christianity, all that they did was they took pagan beliefs and systems and confided it to one God, and they said, oh, well, this is our religion and you got to follow it. Your many gods does not fit in. So you either do what we say or you're going to be killed. And then later on down the road, after all of that, because the Roman Empire was destroyed before Jesus was supposedly born. And I think what happened was that those old school Christians, what they saw was an opportunity for them to have a savior. And what they did was they pricked and preened this little child, only a little bit older than my own son, to cover up, and I mean no offense to any Christians that may be watching this, Mary's infidelity, or not really infidelity, but
adultery.
Her adultery of having sex before marriage, because that's just a no-no. You're not supposed to have sex before marriage. Well,
and it was allegedly Joseph's brother that she slept with because he was like half black or something, or like full black, and Jesus was supposed to be black as night or something like that. Sorry, I need more beer.
I think he just, I think it was just that he wanted, I don't think it was like, what me my.
We did what with the Pokemon?
I think. Huh?
Yeah. As far as like the Jesus goes, Connor brought up a pretty good point. What if Jesus was nothing more than a radicalized hippie who wanted to turn the Roman Empire on its head? When he said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's, he's saying, give all the money back to these motherfuckers, don't use it, and their entire system will collapse. And that's essentially what got Jesus killed.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a valid idea.
Yeah.
But we can get into more of that later on, as Connor has already addressed it many times. But moving forward in this whole thing, we've already have the legalization of gay marriage, and it's now starting to take root in Christianity and become accepted. It's varying degrees in various religious groups. What do you think is going to happen with the other taboos? I mean, we've already seen, especially with the Mormons, we've already seen the polygamy, and we've also seen the legalization and acceptance of both interracial marriage and same-gender marriage. And now you have the push for legalization of incest, and in many cases, bestiality and pedophilia. Where do you think the churches are going to fall with that?
Two of those things I don't agree with. Just two.
Okay.
And that is, one, bestiality. If we were made to fuck a cow, we would have had women would have been given a bigger fucking vagina. Okay, for first off.
I don't know. I don't want to see a cow's dick. I've never seen a cow's dick. I don't want to see a cow's dick.
It's not necessarily a cow; it's a bull, but still. I mean, if women,
okay, good point. Okay,
honestly, if men were made to have sex with animals, we would have been given bigger penises and bigger vaginas. Okay, I mean, not a 6-inch deep vagina and on average 6 to 7 inch long dick. Okay, come on now. So I mean, yeah, no.
I'm drunk. You know where my mind's going.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. Secondly, I don't agree with pedophilia.
Naturally.
I don't want some woman my age feeling up on my 3-year-old fucking son. Hell no. Touch my son when you're my age at 28 years old, I'm going to deck you. Or I don't want someone to be feeling up on what possibly could be my daughter later on in the future. I don't want some old, disgusting, wrinkly man feeling up on my 2 to 3-year-old daughter. Fuck that. I will slit your throat ear to ear. You don't. That.
Okay, calm down. Calm down, woman.
We are not back to telling our children age 15 to 18 to get a higher standing for money. No, that's wrong. Do not force your child to do that. That's just, they're not even old enough to make their own decisions yet. Why would you force your child into something like that? No. Now, everything else, that's fine, because honestly, incest, how do you think the country became, or the world became populated? According to, there was Adam and Eve, just those two.
And then everybody had to breed with each other, right?
Exactly, and not to mention, Eve was made from Adam's rib, basically his sister.
Pretty much, same genetic markers. Same
exactly.
Genetic markers.
And not to mention also, when they had sons, who were their sons supposed to have sex with in order to populate the earth? Their mother. Only person. Only other female until their sisters came, and then they ended up sleeping with their sisters, and yada yada, so on and so forth. So in a way, we are all related. According to Christians, we are all related. We are all one big family.
Okay, so do you think that incest may wind up being accepted in religious cultures under this context? Especially with the Mormons given that they believe that we are the literal sons and daughters of God?
In about maybe 50 to 60 years, they might accept it. But right now, I think that they're still going to consider it taboo, and they are not going to accept it at all. Even if it does become legalized soon, like in the next couple of years, if it becomes legalized, I highly doubt that anybody in any kind of Christian religion is going to accept it.
You don't think it'll go the same way that homosexuality did?
No, I think what'll happen is that it will be eventually accepted in 50 to 60 years, on a worldwide scale. But right now, if it was to get legalized, which I believe it's in the process of becoming legalized, I'm not entirely sure, in some states, but it's still at the point where people are like, oh, no, just no, that's your sister, or oh, that's your brother. Why? That's just disgusting.
Yeah.
People are still in that thought process.
Yeah,
Not
a lot of people claim that thought process, but believe it or not, the statistics tell quite the contrary. Incest porn is actually really popular, especially in Utah of all places. Believe it or not, especially Salt Lake City. And
well, then again, a lot
then
of
you
that,
got all those stories. Oh, sorry to cut you off. Then you got all those stories of, that are coming out of incest couples, like a father getting with his daughter, or a brother and sister who were estranged from each other and then caught back up and then fell in love and all that shit. There's quite a few stories and instances of this happening more and more in society. And even media has been propagating it like a motherfucker. Mainstream media, television, movies, so on and so forth.
Yeah. I mean, but if you look at it, a lot of those movies that do that, even the porn movies, yes, they have a lot of people watching them, but then again, the people that watch them know that these people are actors and they're not really related. So it's kind of a, well, what if kind of thought process.
Yeah.
And a fantasy, but it's not full on, oh, well, that's a brother and that's a sister and they really have been together for a while.
Yeah.
But
what I'm saying is social conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting it, but they're not really doing it just yet.
Yeah. Well, they can't exactly do it because it's not exactly legal yet. That's considered felony.
Exactly. And there's a lot of people who, yeah, they're curious about it, but they're not going to say nothing because they're too worried about the backlash. And I'm going to tell you right now, if people are going to give you backlash, fuck them. Get them out of your life.
I'd rather not. That'd be a lot of people to fuck.
That's true. Okay. In other words, kick those people out of your life. Kick them to the curb. Tell them to kick rocks or take a long walk off a short pier. Okay? You don't need that kind of toxic thought process in your life. If you want to be incest, be incest. If you want to be gay, be gay. If you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. It all have to have people that tell you, oh, no, it's bad, it's bad. You don't have to have those kinds of people in your life. There are people there that are like, oh, you do that? That's interesting. Yeah, can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, be like, okay, it's like, okay, that's your bedroom. That's not my cup of tea, but, okay. Just like, some people are into scat and, golden showers and shit like that, I'm not into getting pissed and shit on, but you know what? Some people are. More power to you.
Exactly. I mean, I personally, I don't like that stuff. But I mean, if you're gonna be gay or lesbian or whatever, or if you want a sister, if you're a brother, you want to be with your brother, do it. That's being gay and incest. So I mean, if you want to do that, do it. Just wait until it's accepted in socially accepted, because otherwise your parents are gonna disown you.
Or just keep it really hush hush.
Yeah.
And let's not mince words. We have all had that especially guys, we have all had that fantasy of being with twins. We have all had that fantasy.
I'll admit, I've had a fantasy or two. Honestly, not about my brother, but about my cousin. I've had those kind of fantasies about my like second cousin or something like that. Because let's face it, usually people who have those fantasies, it's because their brother or sister or cousin or whatever is attractive, physically attractive. If your cousin is hot or is hot, you're gonna be attracted to her. Brad, get the food. Your clothes are in your room. Go away. Sorry, I gotta tell my son to get out of the room because he's trying to find his clothes, which are in his room. Go.
It's all good. You gotta be, parenting comes first.
But so it's just if you're attracted to your brother or sister, and it's because they're good looking, you know what? If you want to test, if you want to dabble, go for it. Just be quiet about it for right now because it's not socially accepted.
Well, I even noticed, you mentioned that, you have had these attractions, but you have never acted on these attractions. This is not me covering up for her or anything. This is legitimate. I've dated this fucking woman. I was engaged to this woman. I tried to have a kid with this woman. Yeah, I know this woman.
We tried everything. Honestly, we really tried all of the wives' tales and everything. It did not work.
I think I'm sterile. I honestly think I'm sterile because I tried. I could not knock this woman up despite how hard I tried. But I digress. The point being is,
upside down, standing on my head for 15 freaking minutes. I swear my ears were ringing for like a week. I couldn't. It just wasn't working.
Yeah. But moving on, the point I'm trying to make here is I know this woman very well, and if she had done such a thing, believe me, I would have been the first to know.
I would have told him.
Yeah, and this is not something that I have ever heard before. In fact, the idea of her ever trying to commit such an act would honestly surprise the living shit out of me.
I can't do it, no. Honestly, I'll have the fantasy, and I'll watch the porn videos, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, some people will watch stuff, but never really act on it. And then you have those few people who are stupid enough, like Two Guys, One Horse. And that didn't end too well.
I never watched that. I never watched Two Guys, One Horse. I never watched Two Girls, One Cup. I never watched that.
No, but you saw the video reactions of Tommy Bird.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I'm a vindictive asshole. People like to say, oh, you're such a nice guy. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I can be the nicest motherfucker you'll ever meet, but you get me on a bad day or you just get me being a vindictive jerk. Ooh, boy.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Question.
Answer.
Do you think that Mr. Giggles could pay a visit to my son here in a couple months?
We could probably arrange that. If he doesn't get sucked up by another tornado in the meantime.
I highly doubt it, but still, yeah. Brad,
well, he tried to start a clown purge.
Clown purge?
Yeah, you remember the clown purge a while back? The killer clowns and all that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he tried to take responsibility for that one. I'm not sure if he was actually responsible or not, but...
I watched it, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if he was, but then again, with his past, I don't think that he was. I don't think the organizer of it.
Yeah, very scary things. But back to what we were talking about before. Do you think that eventually the churches, even the Mormon church, is going to wind up accepting incest? Being that it's being propagated and integrated into our society slowly but surely.
If they have someone that is that knows what they're talking about and knows all the laws and knows the Bible by heart, which I kind of do because I was forced to make book reports on it when I lied or did whatever against the Ten Commandments. But still, if they had someone that pointed out the logical points of it, where in Genesis it says that God made Adam, and then he made Eve, and then they multiplied. Okay, he doesn't exactly say how they multiplied, and then they ended up saying that Cain had or was it Cain or yeah, the Cain had kids, and it's like, okay, well,
Hootie moink.
how do you have kids? Huh?
Yep. Either they're incestuous relationships or there was more people than what we were led to believe.
Exactly. But see, the Bible doesn't say that there were any other people. It just says that there was Adam and Eve and their son Cain and Abel. Well, then Cain killed Abel, but then Cain had kids. Okay, so how do you have kids? Do you have sex with his mom? I mean, that's obviously the only logical point.
Yeah,
He
I
had
mean,
sex
he
with his
would have
mom.
had to. And it
Exactly.
stands to reason that in modern day, people would argue, well, God knew that the genetics got polluted, so that's why he cut off incest out of the equation. Well, that's not so much a factor nowadays, especially as far as the law is concerned, because you have things like birth control and abortion, if those are the routes you choose to take. And you also
adoption too.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about, avoiding creating deformed or disabled incest baby, as is the common argument.
Well, considering that our DNA, yeah, it may be alike in some ways, there are a lot less deformed children being born because the human anatomy and the human DNA is starting to evolve to the point where we don't have that anymore. I mean, it only comes down to like mental disabilities like Down syndrome or
Autism.
schizoaffect.
Yeah,
or
autism or
something like that.
Or stuff like that. Yeah, I see that, and a lot of that's been attributed to vaccines and other underlying factors that don't happen before birth. It's usually stuff that happens after birth. And in that retrospect, you wouldn't have to worry about the quote retardation or disability, I should say, from an incest baby. If in fact the DNA is evolving, like some people are led to believe. Plus, you have the argument that if quote retardation is a factor in not allowing incest, then why are disabled parties allowed to breed? That's kind of a double standard, and that's eventually what's going to wind up being possibly even the closing argument between the legalization or illegalization of this practice.
Exactly. I mean, there's plenty. Personally, I've actually seen the list of 101 contradictions of the Bible, and there's even more than 101 contradictions in it.
Oh, I know. I've read the Bible cover to cover and wrote a book on the history covering the Mormon theology in every aspect, including Christian history for the past 2,000 years.
And it's very vague. It tells you, oh, you can't do this, but it doesn't say specifically what you can't do. It just gives an explanation or a description.
Yeah, it says you can't do this, but it does not give dynamics as to why.
Yeah. And there's also you can't eat the pork and stuff like that because, well, it's dirty, okay? Well, aren't we dirty as well, and even cows and stuff like that? They're dirty too. So are chickens. They're dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, for crying out, chickens bathe themselves in diatomaceous earth to get rid of the mites in their feathers.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. There's a lot of things that do not make sense. You're right.
Organisms.
Wow. This conversation has gotten a lot deeper than I thought it was going to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now you know why I wanted to marry this woman, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, you asked to have an interview with a woman who has an IQ level of like 104 to 110. Come on now.
Hey, no argument. No argument.
And considering that I've been through so much, it's kind of easy to make it really, really deep other than anything else.
Yeah. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't even hit the tip of the iceberg. Me and this woman can get fucking deep.
Just give me some alcohol and I'll get even deeper.
Have a drink, babe.
I can't.
Like, here. Wait. Face the camera.
Hey, you know what? If anything, I would love for you to be able to. I really wish it was possible for you to just push the beer through the camera to me, and I could get it myself. I mean, I would love that. But
I'm trying to hold the jokes back. I'm trying. Fuck it. If I could do that, it wouldn't just be the beer coming through the camera, honey.
oh, I'm sure.
Like I said, when I drink. At least she's understanding.
I'm always understanding. Everyone knows that.
Anyway. Any closing thoughts? Anything you want to add to this? Because I'm drunk. I can't think of anything else.
Not really. I mean, the only thing that I can really think of is, don't let a religion push you around. Don't let a specific religion force you to stop believing in what you already believe in. I have been visited by Mormons, by Jehovah's Witnesses. Even my own father has been trying to turn me back to Christianity and everything, or just specifically Christianity. And I can't do it. I mean, I cannot follow a religion that has so many rules. I mean, to the point where you're not allowed to drink soda, or as over here on the eastern coast of the United States, they call it pop, which is freaking stupid if you ask me. But still,
Thank you!
it's ridiculous. It's soda. It even says it on the can. Soda. 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 Not pop. Soda.
I drink beer. I drink Coke. You don't like it? Suck my balls, Mr. Postman.
But
I'm an asshole. I'm even an asshole at work, honey. You'd be amazed at the shit I do.
Chris.
Yes.
Let me finish my closing thoughts and then finish our conversation after we get off of YouTube, okay?
Yes, mother. I leave it to you.
So, in summary, don't let someone tell you what you can or cannot do. Do not let a religion change who you are. Do not defer from who you are originally. Don't try and change yourself for a man, or don't try and change yourself for a woman. It's stupid. They're just going to turn around and hurt you. If they don't love you for who you are, or if your family gets mad at you, your parents get mad at you for being gay or lesbian, they're not real parents at that point. Okay? Your parents are supposed to love you, or your family's supposed to love you no matter what. No matter if you're gay, no matter if you're lesbian, no matter if you incest, they're supposed to love you regardless. Because Christians are always supposed to strive to be like God. Well, God supposedly loves us no matter what. It's unconditional. So, if they want to hold fast to that, then they need to love you no matter what. That is my closing thought.
You know, I couldn't have said it better myself. And I really couldn't add anything to that, honestly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I am out of beer. I'm the Tin Man with the Resistance. This has been my good friend Genevieve. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance. Now I must find more beer!